This episode is brought to you by Heisman Trophy, the only product clinically proven to turn 5-star hype into mysterious disappearance. Tired of your quarterback winning the Heisman, then vanishing into a cloud of money signs and bad decisions? Introducing Manziel Miracle Powder. Just sprinkle it on any franchise and poof, career trajectory gone by week 6. And for wide receivers, try Jerry Jeudy's route running GPS. Looks elite, feels elite. Results may include running in circles, separation from defenders, and separation from the end zone. Side effects include blaming the quarterback, dropped passes, and one cool juke per game that results in a fumble. Heisman to who? Because potential is forever, and production is optional. Now back to Flagrant Foul with Rich and Nate, the only show that remembers what these guys were supposed to be.
Yeah. Hey, Cleveland roots with a reckless style. Take so bold, they're flagrant foul. House on the ice, Notre Dame pride. Wrestling talk about culture, ride from Rich to Nate. It's full court wild, say back press play. It's flagrant foul. Yeah, it's flagrant foul.
Welcome back to Flagrant Foul, episode 19. Boy, Nate's back in the house after his 1 week hiatus to study and become more educated. Nate, welcome back.
What's going on? Excited to be back. Apologies for missing out last week, but was grinding on finals week, had some assignments due alongside of working all day, so thought it would be better for Big Dave to get the call from the bullpen, but I'm back.
Yeah, thanks to Big D. He came in, pinched hit for us, did a nice job. So, yeah, we'll have him back on here in the future. But good to have you back. How are the finals? We had papers, we had projects. What do we have going on?
Yeah, a couple projects. Papers I would use loosely. They were just like a few pages. They weren't nothing crazy, but it was all
Were they
due,
Scattaboo style?
Thursday.
The
I was definitely
using some
definitely above his level. I hope. But
he's using
it was
some
all due
chat
last Thursday.
CT.
But got it all turned in. So far, so good. Wait on one class two classes need to submit grades, but the one class has everything in, and so far 2 A's. Might squeak out a third. We'll see. I think grades are due on Tuesday, so I will have an update next episode.
Yeah, so a little break. What do you get, like 3.5-ish weeks or so? It'll be nice.
Just about, and it feels glorious.
I'm
like
sure.
Today, watching the Browns game, not having assignments hanging over my head, was pretty great. Don't know what to do with myself now. But,
we're clearing out that calendar till next week when me and Green Beans roll up into Seatown with the dogs for Christmas week. So we'll fill your time with maybe checking out the Bills game, maybe get to see Miles break the record, and I'm sure we'll have, maybe we could split a beer or two while I'm there during that week. So
yeah.
So Beans and I, as I just mentioned, will be headed that way. We're doing Christmas. We did our Christmas yesterday, so I was pretty excited. She got me the little Leatherman multi-tool
action.
But you know what was pretty sweet about it? I got to use, where is it? Right here.
Little bottle opener action.
Little
too?
beer bottle open action, right? So, things are looking up. That was pretty sweet.
Nice.
Liking it.
What else? Did you get that hat for Christmas?
No, we were just out at a new brewery, so she picked this one up for me, so pretty sweet. I only have like 1 or 2 hats, or...
Yeah, times like maybe 300, but...
Yeah, I think between the two of us, we could probably hat a small country if we really wanted to.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, there's a lot of hats going on.
I was looking at, trying to Christmas shop for you, and I'm like, could always go for a good hat. There was a couple hats at Rally House. I was like, these are pretty fire. But then it reminded me that I bought you that awesome corduroy Browns hat like 2 years ago. I've never seen you wear that hat.
I've worn it on this pod.
I'm about to pull up and steal it from you because that hat is sweet and you don't wear it enough.
I'm almost positive I've worn it on this pod. Whatever.
I don't wear it
Well, you
enough.
know
I know
what? You
that.
don't see me every day, so you don't know my life. But
Okay.
yeah, so Nate wasn't on last week. We did get to debrief. You took a little journey over to Champaign. Check out the University of Illinois. How was that?
Yep, met up with my boy Kale in Champaign last weekend. Went right after work on Friday. Drove. Got there at like 1 o'clock Eastern time, I guess, in the morning. So honestly, not as bad of a drive as I was expecting after working all day and then hopping in the car and heading there. Not too bad.
It's like 3 roads,
Um,
isn't it?
yeah. I mean, obviously, like, was getting pretty bored because like doing a drive like that by yourself is like I don't know what to do. Like, I tried to jam out as much as I could, but like, I got to a point where I'm like ready to be out of the car. But trip was fun. Yeah, they had like this like clearance sale from like I guess it was like bookstore locker room sale kind of deal. At the stadium on Saturday, we checked that out. There was about 7,000 people there.
Yeah.
And it was
Snag
pretty picked
anything?
over by the time we got there. No, we didn't get
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
There was the stuff that was left by the time we got there was okay, and the register line was insane. So nothing that felt justified to stand in that line. But did
Okay.
that. Got some brunch with Kale's parents. That was nice to see them. And then later that day we did it was like a vet school bar crawl. Had to bust out they were calling them coveralls, which I am not too sure what separates those from overalls. I think that it's like a
I think
different
it's
material that they're
semantics.
made out of.
Oh, it
I'm not
is?
too sure. I think that
Mm.
overalls are like denim kind of material, and then coveralls are more of like a canvas something. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna have to bust out the dictionary and figure
We
that
might,
out.
yeah, we might need to get Gail on here so he can get into the intricacies and differences between the
Mm-hmm.
overall and coveralls. Okay.
Yep. Had to borrow Kale's dad's coveralls. We went out, went to a couple. I think we went to 2 bars in like the downtown Champaign, and that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Drank like a couple beers, not too crazy. It's
Just
like
like two or
we
three.
drank a
Yeah,
good amount
yeah.
of beers. Yeah, like maybe like half of one. I don't know if this is like an Illinois thing. That's the only reason I've had it is because he's from Illinois. But we had some Malort. It's like a liquor, and it tastes like poop.
You
Like
did
it's
have that?
nasty.
That's what Alex said, that Malort's is like, they always try to get people to do a shot of
Malort is
Malort in
gross.
Wisconsin. And she's like, oh, people like, they try to find out if you've never done it. And they're like, oh, yeah, let's do a shot. She's like, it is the worst thing you'll ever drink.
It's
You
not.
did
It's
one?
so bad. So I've had it in the past. Like I had it um while we were at Berg before. Had it for Kale's 21st. He had like Malort shooters. So it wasn't my first rodeo with it. But they had like initially we weren't going to, and then they were like, oh, well, we got some peppermint, we got like a pumpkin spice one, and we're like, okay, could be interested in trying them. But then we were like, you know what? If we're doing it, we're just doing straight regular Malort.
Yeah, we
And
want the poop flavored one.
yeah, it was not good. But
Yikes.
it was great.
Nice.
I had a good time. DoorDash some Taco Bell after that, of course. You can never have a night of drinking without some Taco Bell. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's a wasted night if you haven't got Go
yeah,
Bell.
you got to eat something. Taco Bell is obviously the go-to. Yeah, that was fun. Had a good time.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Nice. We debriefed with Big Dave the madness that was the after of the Browns Ravens game about what happened to everybody, but I told him me. I completely forgot we made Claire drive us to Taco Bell, and then we were not in a great shape at that point. Was there a guy in front of
no.
us with a plate said Dr. Smash, or was that earlier in the day?
I
Do you remember
think
that?
I think that was earlier when we got some double cheeseburgers at McDank's.
I was
I'm
just like,
pretty
this
sure.
guy is a absolute buffoon. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. Good job. You got to see the boys. So cool. Well, let's do it. Browns Bears. That was horrible. It was like, I'm not even anything. I'm not even disgusted because this season's over. I just kind of wanted like Shadur to go in and play good, and like no one showed up. Like the defense, like the whole defense is just Swiss cheese at this point with the injuries.
Mhm.
The offensive line is, they're like basically just getting guys off the street. I think they had like fourth string at guard at one point here after Jenkins went out, I think in the third quarter or so. So just terrible. No semblance of a running game. Feel bad for Judkins because he's just getting crushed back there. Thought we were going to see Raheem Sanders. He was a no-show. They used Trayvon Williams, right?
Trayvon Williams, yeah. Which I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't really see much
He was
action, but when he
alright.
did, I didn't like dislike it. I would rather pretty much see
Yeah.
anybody but Jerome Ford at this point.
Yeah. I think you've seen the last of
But
him in the Browns.
yeah, hopefully. I mean, we kind of know what we have with him, and I'm ready to like go our separate ways and see if we can find anybody else. But yeah, I agree. I'm not really like upset. I don't really care if they win or lose. It doesn't affect the season. The season's over. It helps. I know that you're gonna say, "Oh, I don't care if we get a higher draft pick," but it does help if we keep losing. We put ourselves in a better position to grab the wrong guy higher in the draft. But
Here's
if
my
we
thing. So tell me
accidentally,
if I'm wrong. Because you and Hayden, I was joking, but you and Hayden jumped on. You're like, no, I want Shador, and like I agree, and that's what scares me because the higher the draft pick goes, they're picking a quarterback. There's no chance they're not if they go
I
any higher.
I agree.
Without addressing all of the issues on the team. And we're going to go into next year with just more controversy and turmoil. It's going to make me so mad. Yeah. So that's honestly my biggest thing. Now, if I actually had any trust in this team, they'd be like, oh, we're going to get a high pick, a trade down, do the right thing. They're not going to do that, though. This is so bad, dude.
Yeah, I mean, if we could fleece a team like the Jets and get some picks like I think Hayden and Dave were talking about, that would be great.
Yeah.
Like that would be perfect storm. They give us a couple picks. We trade down a little bit, get Carnell Tate or Mekhi Lemon. I'm cool with that and get some more picks and see what we can do with it. I really, really, really do not want a quarterback. I know Shador had 3 picks today. The first one was batted down and as a pick. So it's like not a good
first
throw,
one
but
was
also not as bad as we've seen. Because
Agreed.
like, I mean, when he first got in the game, like that Ravens game, like his pick in that game was like, he thought that Ravens dude was our receiver. Like you threw it right to him. So I think that his decision making is getting better, and his overall play, pocket awareness, I think, is getting better. That was just it happens.
He looked like
the second interception.
So he wasn't dropping back. Like I feel like he's improved in the pocket every week. Now it doesn't mean some of his throw. Like I would say he had sort of a bad day throwing. That first one again, batted ball. Second one, we'll get into Jerry Jeudy, the abomination that is his career and his performance. But that's not on him. The last one, the thing is, it's really hard. We're a team that you can't trust and be like, well, he's not showing them enough to be the guy. And it's like, he has no receiver. He's got Isaiah Bond and Harold Fannin. That's it. He's got no running game. He's got no pressure. He has continued to improve. He has no trust with the receivers outside of basically those two. So like, he needs an off season with weapons and an improved line to even say that. And quite honestly, like I said this last week to Dave, like I think with the defense we have, I think that he can be the quarterback that we need. And if he's not, we have Deshaun. And I know everybody's gonna be like, Deshaun sucked. Deshaun's still a decent quarterback. I don't care. You say like he's good enough that we need to build other areas of the team. And then in the following year, if we need to address a quarterback, that's when we need to do it. This is not the year for us to be going after a quarterback. But he's used his feet a little bit.
The quarterbacks in this upcoming draft are not anybody that I'm willing to move on from what we currently have to go get. If there was like a generational talent in the draft, it's like he's going to change your franchise, then I would consider it. But I don't feel that way about anybody in this draft. I feel like what we have at quarterback right now is a lot better than what we've ever, like, not ever. I think that in the past 20 years, Baker was probably like the best one we've had. And I think a lot of people can agree on that. But compared to what we've had, like Deshaun Kaiser, like Cody Kessler, like Johnny Manziel, Shador and Deshaun are a much better situation that we've been in the past. And I feel like we don't need a quarterback at this point. Like, I'm not saying that either of them are fantastic. I do really like what I've seen from Shedeur. Like, I think that I don't
I've
think a
seen
lot of quarterbacks in the
progression.
league can make. I don't think that a lot of quarterbacks in the league can make the deep ball throws that he's making. Like, I think that there are some quarterbacks that can do that and do it better. But I like what I see and like pushing the ball down the field and not being afraid to take chances, and he's connecting on them.
Yeah.
So I feel like the rest of his game can be improved. Like he's got raw talent and it's working for him. Um, so I feel like every other position on the team needs to be addressed before a quarterback. I think that what we have is
Yeah.
serviceable and we
I
can
think an
be
off
a
season
playoff team.
with I think an off season with the coaching staff and him being the focus and him developing some chemistry with some actual decent receivers like was be all the difference in the world. And I think today's game's a good one to say too. Like if you look at Caleb Williams last year, like look where he's at this year and look what he was doing last year. And like Shedeur basically got no attention, rode the pine, has come in one of the worst situations. Like I just sort of look at him as like, if you stick with somebody, develop this guy and develop the team around him, he's going to be fine.
I agree.
I mean, that
I
was
think
not a
that'll be
fluke
perfect.
last week. The Titans aren't
No.
great, but the Titans' pass defense is as good or better than the Bears. And like, you don't fluky against any team in this league, score 4 touchdowns to throw for over 350, and you're just a terrible quarterback. I don't believe that. Really don't believe that. So I don't know. Super frustrating day because I can't stand Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy makes me so mad. Like, and I don't even care if he's grown from his little sideline altercation. Like, F you, dude. Like, you're no accountability. You're such a little bitch. You're freaking running your mouth. And then, like, you consistently every week drop balls or do stupid shit like you did today. Please leave. Leave. Like, I don't want to see that dude back here next year. And if I was Shedeur, I'd be like, I'm taking the sack or I'm throwing you hospital balls the rest of the year before I do anything for you. Isaiah Bond and him are the connection. Like, you have Isaiah Bond. If we got like 2 other stud receivers, our receiving core would be like instantly, tough as hell. With Fannin in there, I think you're okay at running back. I think your line, receivers, defensive backs. That's my assessment of where we're at.
And I
But,
think that I agree with that chemistry. Like, even if they only go get Carnell Tate and then they ride with Judy and Cedric Tillman and Harold Fannin, like, they need the chemistry. Like, that second interception to Judy, that was a pretty good placed ball. And, like, while that does happen, like, it might have been a difficult catch for Judy. It's frustrating because it's like, okay, he got you the ball, and then now what? Like, you get mad at him when he doesn't throw you the ball, and then he gets the ball to you, and then that happens. But then you see, like, that third interception, it's like, Chicago is a good team, and Ben Johnson is, like, he's a very smart coach. Like, he knows that Harold Fannin is the number one guy. Like, that third interception was like, that's it. They know that we want all eyes on Harold Fannin. The ball is probably going to him. And that's what happened on that third interception. They knew the ball was going to him. So if he could just build some chemistry with everybody else and, like, I don't know. I feel like the quarterback situation is fine at the moment. Like,
yeah, let me I want to jump in here too because I think this is funny because there's some people that follow the Browns. Like, the Browns have a loyal fan base, and there's some people that are freaking idiots. I swear to God. I posted something about earlier on TikTok just about Dave and I were discussing next year. So if Shedeur's your guy, you got your veteran mentor in Watson, you're already paying him for the next 2 years. And then, like, do you just keep Dylan? That's your developmental third string guy because, he's got a bunch of games here. He's got a bunch of college experience, and, like, you already have him on the roster. So, like, we're not going to waste another pick or bring in another guy to teach him, like, why don't we do that? And people are on there like, I trade him for picks. Who are you trading him to? People are so dumb. Yeah, okay, yeah, I agree with you. Let's go trade him to somebody for some number one. They're not trading him for anything, so shut up before you talk. People are like,
I think that
who's he going to mentor? He's not mentoring anything. Like, listen to things clearly and do your research before you talk, dummy.
I do agree.
What are
I
you
don't
saying?
think that there is, like, a reason to get rid of him. Because we're not going to get much for him. Like, if we were going to get rid of him, we should have shipped him off before people, like, saw how he played. And now I feel like When did we pick him? We got him with a third pick.
I'd be fine with him being a third string quarterback. Like we have
I don't
Bailey's.
think
Like
that
you look at the
if
guys
we
we have,
trade
he's
him,
fine.
I don't think that we get a 3rd round pick for him if we trade him.
Mm-mm.
So I don't know. I think it's kind of a waste if we get rid of him at this point. We took him with a 3rd round pick. If you can't get at least a third back, then you have to.
Which you're not. Yeah, you're not. And then it's like, too, you know, like every year, it's like you start getting in that 5th, 6th, 7th round. They're like, oh, we're going to snag a QB to maybe like develop. No, we need to be just going lineman, stacking linemen, try to find a diamond in a rough, bring these guys into camp, get some guys on the practice squad. Like, we truly can't afford to waste picks on anything but our offensive line depth. We haven't done anything. You know, we've neglected it, and you can say that it's a Watson contract. I'm sure that has a lot to do with it, but like the time is now that we need to invest in that and wide receivers, you know, and now you've put yourself in a position too that I think like we have to build through the draft because who are you getting free agency to come here? No one wants to come here and play now. Like you've created such a negative environment for them to come into. Like this is not going to happen. No, I don't know. We're using the only thing, like I said, I kept it together. I wasn't really mad at all today, but Jerry Jeudy, just it's so freaking bad. He annoys me so much. What was he doing? What the hell did he do?
What do you mean?
On that freaking interception, it's just like, oh, let me lay this to you real quick.
Literally just didn't catch it. I agree. I didn't get upset about the game after the first quarter. The first 5 minutes of that game where we had 36 penalties and like, dude, come on. Opening kickoff. Good return. That's still like special teams is atrocious. All the penalties, it's like, dude, you gave up on this game before it even started. Like we set ourselves up to fail with that, like the first 5 minutes into that game.
I know us as fans we're doing our job. We didn't fumble anything. We didn't fumble our podcast. We didn't fumble the remote. We tuned in for the game. We watched this shit show dumpster fire every week. The least you could do is have one game where you don't have some bonehead play, you freaking moron. Dude sucks so bad. Makes me crazy. Well, enough of that and enough of the game. I guess it made me feel a little bit better to watch Burrows just get absolutely hooped by the Ravens. Dude, he had an ugly game. I don't think they had a touchdown. He had like 2 picks. That was an ugly game. So whatever.
Saying that is the thing is like Shedeur throwing 3 interceptions. Like I'm not ready to give up on him because I think we've seen enough. Like I know that if Dylan Gabriel had the kind of game that Shedeur did today, we would be like calling for his head to get cut off. But I don't think that we have seen the flashes and the games from Dylan Gabriel to be like, yeah, he had a bad game, but I still feel like there's something here. So I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, if Dylan Gabriel did that, or Dylan Gabriel he did have games like that, and you guys were saying he needs to go. I feel like Shedeur has shown us enough that, like, I know he had a bad game today, but I don't.
Here's what I would say to that, though, is
organization feels the same way.
Yeah, we weren't nearly as beat up. Right? We're playing from behind. After 2 drives, we're down 14 points, right? So here is the difference. While the interceptions and stuff were frustrating, like we can't run the ball and dinking and dunking the Dylan way is not going to get us anywhere. So like at least Shedeur's looking downfield trying to make play. At least the game's watchable. Dude's trying to make big plays and go downfield. Like how many deep balls does he have compared to Dylan? You're going to sit there and watch Dylan hold on to the ball, run for 5 yards, throwing screens, throwing freaking like hospital balls for 5 yards. Like that ain't going to do it either. So at a bare minimum, at least there's some competitive fire. I mean, Shedeur's still in there slinging it, running for freaking first downs and doing stuff when the game's out of hand. Like Dylan's just unwatchable, dude. No, I don't know. Well, real quick, look at this. Pretty exciting.
Are those not twist offs? You're just using it just because
they hurt my hands.
Okay.
I'm not trying to twist. Yeah, I'm using it just cause. You know, got a Phillips head screwdriver if you need it, and I can open your beer. Just saying. Anyway, well, I don't want to let this dude off the hook. We called him out, you know, being he's a punk ass and didn't reply to us. That not surprised. But Manziel, you know, after like throwing an NFL, an XFL, and whatever dog shit leagues else he was in away, all on his own, because he's a trash player with no work ethic, continues to try to dog out the Browns. He was freaking dogging out the Browns organization and how they're handling Shedeur. I just want to once again say, shut the hell up. You did nothing when you were here. Your freaking complete collapse of a career was 100% all on you, and nobody really cares what you have to say. So apparently the Browns were good enough that you're just like feeding yourself off of like talking shit about them. They must matter a little bit because you can't keep their name out of your mouth, but whatever. That dude's a clown. I don't like him. So either way, I've decided we're just going to create a weekly Manziel segment. I'm trying to be like, so I'm just going to start making notes. We're just going to give the Manziel of the Week award to whoever does the stupidest thing. I would say Jerry Jeudy, but Jerry Judy's just a bad player. He didn't do anything bonehead off field to like create, chaos on his team. So we'll start that next week. But yeah, I'm not letting that guy off the hook. He's a clown. Have you seen any of that?
Yeah, I have. And I also saw like college football playoffs are starting next week. First round, Texas A&M, Johnny Manziel's alma mater versus Miami. And this dude's like drunk at a bar throwing up the U with somebody like, okay.
Who is?
Clearly
Johnny
Manziel.
was? The dude is a freaking a-hole. Like, he's an idiot. He's an idiot. Like, no wonder, this is why no one, like, you have no allegiance to anybody. You have no, like, accountability to any of your crappy, any of your actions. Like, yeah, you were a good college player. Like, your NFL career sucked because you sucked and you were an idiot. Shut up. Whatever. You're not half the man Shedeur Sanders is. So, kick rocks. Dude's a freaking idiot. But so I didn't get to talk to you about this last week. I was rather timid about it because I think I was just exhausted from being irritated. But I want your take on the CFP decision. The ACC potentially lobbying to not have Notre Dame in. Oh, excuse me. They got it guaranteed in if they're in the top 12 next year, which is resulting in a whole bunch of crying around college football. So, I want to get your thoughts.
Okay, so I'm upset. Like, it's just disappointing that, like, darn, they didn't make it. I'm not mad that they didn't make it because I get it. Like, they lost to Miami. They lost to Texas A&M. Like, the two best teams that they played, they lost it. That makes sense. It's frustrating that they lost to Miami week 1, and then they released like 4 college football playoff brackets every week leading up to the final bracket, and Notre Dame was ahead of them every single time until the last week. Then the farthest that we've been all year from them playing, a week where Notre Dame and Miami, neither of them played, then you decide, okay, let's flip them. Like, totally pulled the rug out from under Notre Dame. I understand that Miami beat Notre Dame. I'm not saying Notre Dame should have been in over Miami. I'm saying from the beginning, Miami should have been above Notre Dame. Don't do this whole Notre Dame's in, Notre Dame's in, Notre Dame's in. And then the last week, just kidding. That's what's frustrating is like, if you're taking the head-to-head so seriously, do it from the beginning. Like, that's fine. I understand they lost to them. They should be ahead of them. But what changed? Like, why all of a sudden in the last week did you decide to do this? That's what frustrates me.
They were used as pawns. That's why.
They really were.
Used
they
as
really were.
pawns.
Like, that was why they used them. Like, people tuned into that bracket unveiling or whatever you want to call it to see, oh, is Notre Dame going to get in? Like, they were using them for money, for clicks. That's it. And that's what frustrates me. That being said, next year, if Notre Dame's a top 12 team, they make it. So if the same situation happens next year, I think Notre Dame was ranked like 10th or 11th, they're in over Miami. So that's like another Notre Dame, win a conference, this won't happen. Last year, conference champions only were able to get the bye. That's not the case this year. Now the top 4 teams get the bye. Next year, if Notre Dame's ranked 12, they get in the playoffs. Yet another reason not to join a conference. And also that frustrates me because Notre Dame's schedule is very comparable to Ohio State's schedule. I wouldn't say the SEC. I think the SEC teams play the better SEC teams throughout the year. Like, I think that they get better games throughout the year than like the Big Ten. Right. But like the Big Ten really has like maybe 4 teams that are good. So even if you're playing an in-conference game, like if you're Ohio State and like, oh, I'm in the Big Ten, but I'm playing Rutgers and Northwestern and Illinois, it's like none of those teams are any better than like, or Purdue, like Notre Dame played Purdue. Notre Dame played Syracuse. Syracuse isn't
Yeah.
that any much different, if at all, from a Rutgers, from a Northwestern team. Like, their schedules are fairly comparable if you really want to, like,
We
get
didn't play
into it.
Grambling
I
State.
know. That makes me mad too. But I understand that, yes, we lost to Texas A&M and Miami, and if we were in a conference and played in the conference championship, we would have made the playoffs. I get that. And I understand people saying, yo, Notre Dame can't be mad. Just join the conference and with the championship, you'll be in. It doesn't matter who you lose to. I get it. But Notre Dame isn't in a conference because of the history of Notre Dame when they became a team back in the day. Like, the Big Ten didn't want to play them. They didn't want them in their conference. So Notre Dame said, okay, peace out. We're going to do our own thing. Like, Notre Dame is one of the only teams in the country still holding on to, like, tradition and doing things like they've always done. The Big Ten didn't want them. Why would we want to go join them now? Like, it doesn't help us in the grand scheme of things. It really doesn't help Notre Dame to join the Big Ten or any conference for that matter. Like, they could go join the
Right.
ACC and win the ACC every year, but it's like Notre Dame's never been in a conference, and I don't know. I think that people that
So
say
they
they
can
need to
go
join a conference
Yeah.
don't understand like why they truly weren't a conference from the start and why they haven't been. Like, yeah, they have the NBC deal that helps, but like that's not it. That's not the entire story. And also, like,
Right.
Notre Dame donors, no one is going to donate to Notre Dame to join a conference. They're going to be pissed off. They're like, we've never joined a conference.
Yeah.
This is our tradition. This is our thing. We don't do that. Like, it's worse off for Notre Dame if they join a conference, I think.
Yeah.
And
Then
it
you get to
frustrates me when
split your
people are
bowl
like,
revenue.
Oh, they need to join a conference. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have to split your bowl revenue with the rest. We're trying to compete. And then we get all these. It's so funny because it's like, you'd be like, oh, join the conference, and be like, oh, I'm sorry. Y'all know there are a bunch of you teams were paying players. You guys are doing stuff illegally as much as you can, just trying to get like players to come in and play. Notre Dame's trying to be by the book. They're transparent. They're not in a conference. They put, I think good schedule together. To your point, their schedule is not any worse than pretty much any of the Big Ten. I would say even this year, which we'll get into this. I think Indiana might have woke a sleeping giant in Ohio State for these playoffs. Ohio State is a good team. I'm not saying they're not. Indiana's schedule was harder than Ohio State's. I think it was.
Yeah.
So that's not even necessarily equitable, but whatever. I mean, we'll
and
see.
then people are
We'll
like,
see.
oh, Notre Dame plays Navy every year. Navy's terrible. Like, why do they play? Like, there's a reason for like why Notre Dame is the way they are. I don't have the story 100% correct, but like, again, back in the day, it's somewhere along the lines of like Notre Dame was struggling. They were about to go under, and then Navy was able to like help them out, and then Notre Dame was like, we appreciate you helping us out. We're going to play you guys every year just like as a thank you. Like, there's a reason for why Notre Dame does the things that they do. It's not just because they don't want to be in a conference and they're just trying to be difficult. Like, it's their tradition. Like, I don't understand why people get frustrated with them. Like, they're not hurting anybody.
I mean, you could like you look at Alabama this year. Like they played UL Monroe and they played Eastern Illinois. So let's not pick one game to make your case against Notre Dame. You all have schedules that don't have good teams on them. At the end of the day, everybody freaking knows. You could sit there and say, oh, join a conference all you want. Notre Dame would make some noise in this bracket. They should. And the odd thing is, I'm not trying to knock. So we talked about this last week. I thought Gruden presented a really good plan for the playoffs. And basically what his plan was, it was very similar to what you have now, but he had play-in games for so if you had conference championships, fine, but then you had other matchups for play-in games. So like his point, AMU earned themselves a right to a play-in game. If they beat an Oklahoma or somebody, they should be in the bracket. We all know they're not going to, and then we don't have to waste our time watching JMU and Tulane in a bracket, And we talked about this last week too, and you look at Oregon, they didn't have to, they should be in, but they didn't have to play in the conference championship. So you essentially got a bye week, and then they have JMU. So you get a cupcake game, and then you get to go play.
I think they
Texas
have Tulane.
Red Raiders.
They have Tulane.
They have Tulane, and then they get to play Texas Tech Red Raiders. Meanwhile, Texas Tech had to play their conference championship, and granted, they scorched BYU, but a lot of people thought BYU was a tough team. So, in some respects, their first round bye Texas Tech got isn't even that much of an advantage. Like, are we trying to get the number one team in the nation? Because the old way was we had this AP top 25, and then there was this vote at the end of the year. It was the eyeball test. There was no like playoff, like, or anything like that. So then we went to a playoff to find a true national champ, but you're leaving out good teams and you're putting in teams like, I'm not going to call them that. Like, JMU Tulane had great seasons, but let's be for real. Like, let's be for real. Everyone's like, well, they should be in because of whatever. Well, look at their schedules. Who the frick did they play? No one.
See, that's what frustrates me as well, is like, good for JMU and Tulane for making the playoffs. Realistically, because they're in, there's 6 teams in the playoffs that get a bye, realistically. Like, Oregon could put their backups in and beat Tulane. Ole Miss could put their backups in and beat JMU. Like, 6 teams are getting a bye. And I agree, like, the best 12 teams in the country are not in this bracket. And the whole conference championship, JMU and Tulane, they won their conference, they should be in. Okay, but like, JMU played Ole Miss already, and they lost by 5 touchdowns. And they play Ole Miss in the first round. Like, that's a waste of a game. Compared to, like, if you put Notre Dame in, like, someone that was ranked in the top 12, that would actually, like, have a chance of beating Ole Miss, like that. I don't know. It just feels like they're like, JMU and Tulane aren't going to make it. Like, these smaller schools aren't going to make it if we don't do this. So we're trying to, like, throw them a bone. And I don't feel like that is how you get your best team in the country. Like, I don't think that that's how the playoffs should be. Like, if you want to put them in the play-in, and if they win that game, then they get to be in the bracket. Like, I think that makes a little more sense. Yeah. But it's just frustrating when, like, JMU and Ole Miss have already played and they got smoked. Like, that shows you that they're not a playoff team. And, like, also, they won their conference. They should be in the bracket. Duke won the ACC. So put them in over Miami if you want to talk about conference champions. Mm-hmm. Like, everybody cried because a 7-5 Duke team made the ACC championship. Everyone's like, oh my God. There was like some big tiebreaker that Duke somehow came out on top of. They shouldn't be in the ACC championship. And then they won it. Put them in the bracket. Like, if you really want to, like, talk about conference champions, like, the ACC is...
Yeah. These conferences have gotten too freaking big. I mean, and that's a lot of the problem. They're too big. So you have these inequities in schedules, and not everybody plays at each other, and they have these, like, who makes the championship games, then what happens. I mean, Miami didn't even make the highest ranked ACC team, didn't even make their own conference championship, and they're the only team to get it. Like, make it make sense. I don't understand it. The whole thing is stupid, and everything's about head to head and who won and wins and this and that. It's not really. It sort of only is when it suits your narrative. I don't know. Pretty irritating, but we'll move on. I think Notre Dame's getting ready to go scorched earth on everybody. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Everybody's been kind of quiet. They're like, oh, Marcus is going to be the next giant. Marcus is going nowhere. Marcus is staying in Notre Dame. He's the best coach we've ever had. He's getting ready to, like, come back, just completely tear everybody up next year. Jeremiah Love got job for the Heisman. We all knew that was going to happen. He's just going to shock the world, come back next year. We're getting ready to rock everybody.
See, now that's, like, another thing. People are upset. Like, Notre Dame's mad. They're pouting about not making the playoffs. They're going to not play in their bowl game. I think that part of their decision was like, why go play in a bowl game that's going to make ESPN money when they just gypped them? Like, again, Notre Dame lost Miami. They should be in, but, like, they should have been ahead of them from the beginning, and I think that they were pissed off about that. So I'm not mad about that, but also, like, they're like, oh, well, go let the seniors play one more game. Like, it was a team decision. They have those guys like Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price who are probably going to the draft. I would love it if they stayed, but they've done their time, and they've given us more than we could ask for. So if they go, like, obviously not going to be upset. We want them to have their best careers that they can have. But, like, some of those guys that are not going to play it, like, the team came together and was like, we don't want to play our bowl game if the whole team's not going to be out there. And some of those guys that are going to the draft aren't playing in it. So, like, that was a team decision. And I mean,
why would they even want to play in that game? I mean, they're like, oh, seniors play one more game. Like, they just played a whole season and they ran, 10 straight wins to finish the year. Like, after coming off of playing in the national championship game last year, why would they even, and then getting gypped this year, why would they care about even playing another bowl? They don't. They're ready to move on.
People are like, oh, well, Notre Dame didn't make the playoffs. Why don't you go play your bowl game and show them why you should have been in the playoffs? Like, that doesn't matter. We go win our bowl game. They're going to be like, oh, Notre Dame played good in their bowl game. Just kidding. Let's throw them in the bracket. Like, that's not going to change anything. Like, we're working towards next year now. Like, this year's over.
What do you think?
They didn't make the playoffs. Move on to next year.
I agree with you on the Miami. Like, I can at least, I don't agree with Miami being over Notre Dame, but I can get behind at least if the committee wanted to say that, then absolutely they should have been ranked ahead. Like, why did you wait to the end? Here's my thing, though. Everybody's like, head to head. Second game of the freaking year, 3-point loss on the road in Miami.
No, that was.
There's so many teams. Like, knock it off. Don't act. Let's not act like, oh, they were the better. No, they're not the better team. They are not the better team. And like, teams lose. They're on the road. That's why there's people are usually road dogs anyway. Like, let's not act like straight up on a neutral site, or if that game was in Notre Dame, that would have gone that way. And Notre Dame 100% got better than they did over the beginning of the season. So like, to sit there and go, oh, they lost in the head-to-head, that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. So basically, by that logic, to me, anybody who has a loss shouldn't be in unless you're a one-loss team and the team you lost to should be in too, then, I guess.
See, I agree, because obviously I think if Notre Dame played Miami or Texas A&M again, they would beat them. I think Notre Dame has figured out the issues that were there the first couple of weeks, and I think they're a much better team now. They had a redshirt freshman making his first start in week 1 in Miami. Like, that's a hard thing to do. I think that they would beat them, but also, like, where's I going with this? I forget.
I mean, at the end of the day, head-to-head's all that matters. So Florida State's a better team than Miami by that logic, because they beat them. It doesn't matter what their record. They beat them.
I don't think Florida State beat Miami. Well, Florida State beat Alabama.
No, Florida State beat Miami. Pretty sure.
I don't think so.
It was my bad. It was Louisville and
SMU that they lost to.
Okay, then it was Bama that lost to Florida State. But either way, then that made Louisville's a better team. That's what I mean. Like, you got to look at the entirety of the schedule and when the losses were. You do need to take into account if people lose on the road. Like, at the end of the day, like, let's not sit there like they're the same team. They're not. So whatever. It's frustrating. But, all right, well, I've had enough of that. Thoughts on Love not winning the Heisman? I sort of was waiting for it. I knew he wasn't going to.
I expected it. It's kind of hard to put him up there and try to say that he should be the Heisman when Ashton.
Anywho, would it be a flagrant foul podcast without some technical difficulty? We've been doing really well lately. Oh, well. Thoughts on, yeah. So Jeremiah Love, I didn't catch your what you had to say.
So I expected it. It's hard to put him up there when Ashton Genty didn't win it last year with over 2,000 rushing yards. The thing I will say is Notre Dame's number 2 running back is the second best running back in the country to Chadarian Price. So he was splitting carries. Those two are the 2 best running backs in this upcoming draft class. So I will say, like, splitting carries, he had good stats, and he's a very exciting and explosive player. And I think that, obviously, I think he deserved it. I'm a Notre Dame fan, so I have some bias. But I don't know. I mean, Fernando Mendoza had a good year, and I think that of the 4 people that were there, I understand why he won. I do feel like the Heisman candidates for this year were not the best class that we've had. I saw something like comparing Ian Book's 2019's stats to Fernando Mendoza's this year were essentially the same. So it's kind of interesting how he won the Heisman this year compared also to, like, Joe Burrow. When he won the Heisman, he had like twice as many passing yards and twice as many touchdowns. So kind of crazy that just felt like a down year, but I expected it. It'd be awesome if he was like I got some unfinished business. I'm coming back, but I don't see it happening.
He did snag the Doak Walker award for the best running back in the country. So,
Yep, he
you
was
know,
the first Notre Dame running back to win that award, so love
yeah.
to see it.
Well, Tristan, I did this. Go back to NFL for a minute. So Philip Rivers, old man, 44, comes out. Here's a great that Cam Newton was like, "Oh, it's a slap in the face." Listen, dude, winners win. He's up 13-6 on the 10-3 Seahawks right now, with a 96 passer rating. He's got a touchdown. Like, the dude hasn't played in years. Like, whatever. He's people could still play, or the guy could still play, I should say. He was looking at pushed his Hall of Fame eligibility back, but I was reading something earlier. It basically said like he was in the final year. So I guess when you retire, you get 5 years of fully covered NFL medical insurance, and this basically reset that. So kind of a baller move for him. But yeah, it's
It
funny
did
because
reset his eligibility for the Hall of Fame as well.
I saw that. He's fun. It's funny though, because he's like, I always thought he was kind of a little bit of a curmudgeon and somebody play, but he seemed very happy to be back. So, it's kind of cool. I mean, the guy, obviously, he could still sling the ball. That's not the first time you've ever seen that, guys. That I think speaks more to, him, or even when Flacco had his one good year here with us. And this was like that experience that you get, that game experience just cannot be discounted. And that's one reason why I think, Shadur's shown enough physical attributes, and I think he's shown progression where he's learning for where he's not good, that like we need to keep getting that dude experience. I think we might have some. We'll see. So I want to touch, we didn't talk any hockey last week. Don't love this trade. Quinn Hughes got traded to Minnesota. They're a decent team, and he's a hell of a player. Anytime we get a stud like that in our division, I don't love that. But on a bright note, the Avs are just absolutely continuing to kill the league. They only have 2 losses right now. They have 53 points. McKinnon is number 1 in the league in goals and points, not just as like 4th or 5th. Makar's leading all defensemen. Wedgwood got put on as for camp for the Canadian team because he's been playing so well for the Olympics this year. So a lot of good things going on with the Avs. The freaking Dallas won't lose. Dallas is, if for as great a year as the Avs are having, like Dallas is just like sort of right on their heels right now. So need them to kind of fall back to the pack a little bit. But yeah, the Avs look great. I don't know. No, we still have a couple bodies that need to get back. Gavin Brindley's back. He scored a couple games ago. Still waiting on LOC. I think he's the one that was still out. I think Kivirana went back out too. But I mean, we essentially have our whole roster. It'll be interesting. I was a proponent of us not making any trades and just kind of run what you brung, because why mess with what we're doing right now? But now seeing Quinn Hughes trade, I think if Dallas were to go make another blockbuster trade, I think, you might see where Colorado sort of is like, hey, we need to strengthen, maybe some of our bottom 6 depth. Not that their bottom 6 is not, they got great players at their bottom 6, but maybe a little bit more scoring potential. But yeah, they look pretty good. Played yesterday, won 4-2 over the Preds, so I think they have today off. But yeah, did you see McKinnon became the highest scoring player in Avs history, past Sakic, which is a little bit of a misconception, because that's just his Colorado Avalanche numbers for Sakic. So it doesn't count any of his numbers as a D, because he was like over 600 goals. So, McKinnon's pushing 400, but yeah, dude's awesome. I don't know if you caught any games lately. I know you've been busy, so you probably haven't
I have
watched much,
not
have you?
watched. I have like the live event stuff like on my home screen. I have it. You can see they got the Cavs up right now, but I just have that going still when they're playing. I did see they played the Preds yesterday, but I haven't watched anything.
Yeah. The Cavs getting their shit together. They're not looking great there for a while.
No, people are saying that last year was a fluke and that this team's kind of bumped.
Yeah.
So
It's not
I
looking
don't
great
know.
right now. I
Not
think
the
they're
biggest basketball guy. I know, like, obviously we got some dogs on the team, but I'm not super into like the NBA and everything, so I'm not exactly sure what what's going on and what they need to do. So
You're just a massive fan when we go to the championship parades. That's fine.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I'll root for them and but I'm not gonna sit down and watch a Cavaliers game.
Yeah.
To be honest,
You know what I
I
find
just don't really know
interesting?
what's going on.
You know, we'll do a little front running there if they're good. But speaking of running, it's amusing to me. Dave Carr and Mark, for all the shit they talk about my team and that, he's trying to pump me for information on trying to start Shadur today. You know, don't try to start one of your dog crap quarterbacks for Washington, but you want to start Shadur and then talk crap about them. Not a great game to start him. However, maybe you should look in the mirror because Berg holiday duels. So look, Kalahari got moved to the new Berg Fieldhouse. Looks like they had their duels yesterday. So I know the boys, did the girls have duels too? Was it a double, like men and women holiday duels?
There was women's duels. I'm not sure how that went.
Okay.
I don't really know how the men's did either.
It looked like they went 2-1. I saw 5 matches, so I'm wondering if they had like 2 matches for the
They
B
did have
team,
like a B
potentially.
team going.
Yeah, and I think the B team did decent, so they might have went like 1-1. I think the girls had some success. I don't know if they won any, but I think they had some decent wins, some solid wrestling. And then today was the youth duels that they have up there. So getting some good
No, I
use
think
of
that
their
it was the youth duels were supposed to be Friday, but then they didn't have the numbers, so they switched it to a clinic. So I don't think that
there's
they
something
actually did
today.
anything today.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe they did, but I heard that something was getting switched to a clinic.
No, they kept it. The grade school state duels are today, so interesting.
Or maybe there was something else that was supposed to be there too, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, getting some use of their $27 million field house. So that's good. That's good. Well, last thing I have for you, we'll be rolling out of here Friday. Heading your way. What big plans do we have for the week? Our itinerary is on you.
I got beer, and more beer.
Beer, and more beer. Maybe Bills. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that's about it. Well, cool. I don't have anything else for you. How about you? Good. All right. Sounds good. Well, everybody stay cool. We'll catch you next week. We got a fun holiday episode coming up and some other fun things. We'll be together in person. So stay classy, Cleveland. Peace out.
Come back, beat kicks and crowd noise, whistle blows.